Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Morning, Sergeant Major.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
Beautiful morning, Sergeant Major.
Are you a fucking weatherman now?
You're listening to Sergeant's Time on WTF Nation Radio.
Break 'em up with some. Yeah. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence on this 18 April 2024 in the year of our discipline. I'm your host. Of course, in the gutter seat, I got the Spinky.
Hey y'all,
Oh,
it's
girl.
me.
You. Oh, man. Broadcasting deep within the basement of the Pentagon, somewhere in Area 51, maybe in the basement of the Alamo, or somewhere in the Rockies in the Cheyenne Mountain. You never know. Man.
Focus on the sign.
Just look at the sign. Just look at the sign. Say words, son. Get big, Mike. Get big. So, I'm just gonna jump in. I'm just gonna jump in the topics right now because I'm kind of seeing now. The military's always been apolitical in a lot of stuff. Actually, the military is supposed to be apolitical in a lot of stuff. Iron soldiers, yeah, and I'm busting out my iron soldiers hat. Iron soldiers are on your side. We serve with honor. We serve with pride. Yes, I was inside the 1st Armored Division, and I love my cap, love my time. Anyways,
I didn't know you were gonna bust into song all of a sudden.
I'm sorry, I didn't
prepared.
mean. I know. I'm just like, I get a little nostalgic sometimes because I had a great time in the 1st Armored Division, and it's great to see some of the soldiers that I knew that were soldiers there and are now like generals or sergeants major. You know what I mean? Like, man, it's just like, holy shit! It's kind of cool to see, to see the growth of the spawn, the youth. The youth are growing up. I believe the children are our future. To quote Whitney Houston. Bless her soul.
Right,
But
they're all big now.
Yeah,
I wonder if they can sing that song still.
I know, they're so cute. Well, some of them can't. Some of them are like, man, I can't believe that. Yeah, some of it. Like I said. So, anyways, enough about me. I was kind of like, me and Spang were talking about, hey, what are we gonna talk about tonight? Because there's a lot of stuff that's been inkling and burning, and we were talking about. We had a real quick huddle about some of the things that we talk about on WTF Nation Radio, and who are the guests that want to come on, and who are the guests that we don't want to come on. Believe it or not, we do have. We're now starting to limit the kind of like, because there's individuals that I shitpost on other applications or other social media platforms that want to come on here or that want to discuss, and they go, that ICE like shit talks you on fucking line, right? Stuff like that. There's influencers, military, non-military, political influencers, or those that have gained the clout of specific leanings to right or left, extreme and all the way centrist, and all the way to just like batshit fucking crazy.
Up, down, yeah.
Yeah,
Up,
it's just
down, birds of a feather.
Yeah.
Beat,
It's like,
toes, all of the parts.
I want to know where did this woke line, the military is woke line, coming from? Now, mind you, I'm only a few years detached from the military because I retired just a few years ago. I don't remember it being woke. That's my thing. I don't remember it being. Now, what I'm saying, let me take that back. I don't remember it being quote unquote woke the way they think it is. You know what I mean? I don't
You
understand
can't
where.
even define the word woke.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what they need to do first.
Well,
What
see,
do you mean by
what do you
woke?
mean by woke? Exactly. What? I talk because of the connections that I have still in the Army and some of the senior NCO. Like I said, those same senior NCOs that were Joes when they were growing up. And I just look at the, like, okay, does woke mean that you don't get to act like an asshole to somebody and they punch back? Or does it mean that, or does it, what does it really mean? Because I've yet to get a defined meaning of what it is. Just what is, I mean, it's just because my biggest thing is that, look, in our dealings with WTF Nation, in our dealings with who we have with U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and some of the outside, once I went public and who I'm associating with or who I'm taking selfies with and all this other stuff, doesn't necessarily mean that I am look, because I have friends that are on both sides of the spectrum. I'm not talking about tism. I'm talking about political leanings. And on the right side and on the left side and on the center side, we have great discussions. Great time. And those are the ones that I could talk to. And those are the ones that I have, a good dialogue to, that when we hang up the phone, all right, man, talk to you later. All right. Hey, Chica, good talking to you. Hey, love you back. Hey, let's go hang up. Hey, next time I'm in town, let's go get some coffee or let's go get a beer, because some people don't drink. Or let's go get a sandwich or, whatever, man. Let's go, because, everybody likes to conglomerate around the Virginia, D.C. area. And I don't know. I don't know what it is that when a general makes a decision that is because of what the commander-in-chief, whether it be D. Treasy or the current administration makes, and its policy, you have to abide by that. You have to abide by those policies to which you swore an oath to the Constitution. The commander-in-chief is the one that says, if this has got to happen, this has got to happen. You talked about this too, Specky. It's like, it's okay with bringing up a issue. It's so much, it's so much of I don't know. It's hard to describe because I don't know what you're trying to pin. Now, if I were to go on to some tinfoil psyop ghost, see Stitch is coming, it's ghost in the back. I really think it's some assholes that are assholes that just don't like other people, that want to push shit that doesn't want to, that they don't like, and they want to see. Because go ahead, I'm sorry, I'm so.
Well, no, most of the people that are saying, "Oh, you're woke, that's woke, that's woke," it's like, for one, they won't be able to define it because. And I will tell you, it's because their definition is, and I'll be the one that put words in their mouth because they are not articulate enough to say it, is someone that doesn't think, look, and act exactly like me. And so if you don't think, look, and act exactly like me, you must be woke. Because and there'd be the same ones that would be screaming about 75 years ago, oh my God, how are you going to let a black guy and a white guy be in the same unit together? That they'd be the same ones that would think that there would be something wrong with that 70 years ago. So you can go ahead and keep screaming woke all you want, and you're just telling on yourself. So that's what Pinky says.
No, you're making sense. That makes sense because they don't want to admit to it. Now, mind you, that there are those that, and I said this before. Do I think that the Army is quote unquote woke to whatever definition that they fucking have? No, I don't think so. I think the Army knee jerks a lot to the news because I don't know, it's like they're afraid of getting a black eye, they're afraid of getting some shit thrown at them or whatever, or someone's going to misquote them, and the next day you're going to have some senator or congressman at their testimony or a Senate hearing. Did you believe that this was going to happen? And like, motherfucker, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You know what I mean? Just like, just like our grandpas and dads, so no women, things change. Yeah, exactly that. Just like our grandpas and our dads say no women in the military or whatever, or changing whatever. I'm going to tell you what, the more you push back on this, the more it's going to anger those that like to get offended about everything. Because it's funny is I legit just having a conversation with somebody right before the show, how to feed the little guy, make sure he had that child. That's why we're late. But I also was doing a real quick impromptu convo with somebody who was a senior NCO serving. And I said, it's like we have left our neutrality. We have left our we've now moved away up and down to try to please everybody. That now our identity as soldiers is going away. If that makes any sense. It's like now, because there was a poll out, there was a study out that said that now people don't have confidence in the military. Well, I mean, it's back and forth. If the military, some people in the military would say, "Hey, yep, this is this, and that's that," and don't get engaged in any arguments and all that. That's fine. I could see, you know, okay, that's an apolitical stance. That's a neutral stance. But if you say,
Right.
but if you're a senior leader, and I'm gonna bring up General Donahoe again. Everyone seems to think that he is one of the admins for U.S. Army WTO. As a matter of fact, I don't understand.
He's not?
That's what I don't understand about Pat Donahoe. Pat Donahoe gets more shit for being a supposed admin for WTF Moments, but Dan Daly doesn't. What's up with that? Why are you?
Right?
Why are you being so? Why are you being officerist?
Wait, what? Both of them are?
What? Spanky, come on, man, dude, not so down.
I mean, okay. I don't know. I don't know who works here.
But my point.
I don't work here.
But what I'm saying though is that just the guys or the joke or the whatever of shooting the breeze about, you know, oh, General Donahoe is part of that woke thing. Look, here's the thing: if you're defending your soldiers, you know, everyone's like, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, the main page at U.S. Army WTF Moments on Facebook is now posting close of business shout outs. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Right.
Every day at 1700 EST or 5 p.m. for you those that don't understand
Making me
that.
cry. So
Yeah. They they do make you cry, don't they? Oh my God, Brad, that last one.
oh my God.
That last one where the guy
groceries.
bought the groceries one, the groceries post. I'll get to that in a minute.
I literally said, okay, I'll get to that in a minute too.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, just stop. Just the guy is like, so I don't know where I'm getting. I lost my track of mind.
I know.
It's like,
clamped.
it's like, I was like, oh, I get so crazy. Okay, I'll just get to the topic. Okay, an NCO was having pay issues and not having their pay squared away, and was getting back pay issues and not catching up. Well, in that process, that soldier only got like $500 for their fucking paycheck, and for that one time, and he was, you know, coming to the unit and all this stuff, and told his NCO, "Hey, I'm having this issue with my cash. You know, I need money. Blah blah blah." Well, the NCO texts the soldier from the grocery store and says, "What kind of food do you like to eat?" And he says, "I'm not picky, sir, but it's really okay. But I get it." He's like, it's really okay. I'll get it by myself. I'll get it. I'll appreciate it." And the NCO says, "It's too late. I'm at the store already." I'm paraphrasing. As a matter of fact, let me just screen cap this thing, man, so I'm not paraphrasing, so I can get the deets to you. And the senior NCO says, "I'm too late. I'm at the store. What's your address?" And so the senior NCO buys $500 worth of fucking groceries.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, I owe you what do I owe for you, sir?" And he says, "Nothing. You don't have to pay me shit." You know, that right there to me, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I think the main page going to it's because, you know, everyone think, oh man, U.S. Army WTF, all they do is bash the Army, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I think the new outlook of doing some shout outs, because again, the GWAT is over. We should be focusing inward on the troops, right?
Right.
And seeing the struggles of the soldiers. Yeah. And we definitely should be, but the soldiers, we should be focusing inward on them. We should be focusing on what they're doing, what their struggles are and all that. And it's like, I don't know what was it that what was the origin of you know, close of business shout outs, but whatever, it was just something that we got posted, and I will post that. Sounds like a good idea. That's some good shit. And NCO sent that to us, and we're like, oh my God, dude, oh, stop, oh my God, dude. I mean, everyone's like, I gotta step away from the keyboard. I gotta move from my phone. I can't do this. This is what NCOs used to be. Exactly that, Mike. Back where NCOs should always have been. Exactly.
Right. Soldiers that are led like this, become leaders that lead like this.
Yes.
And then on the flip side
Yes.
of that,
Yes.
soldiers that are led like this become leaders that lead like this.
Exactly.
It goes both ways.
And it's good leadership is a contagion, just like bad leadership is a contagion. It spreads. You get that little, I guarantee it right now, that soldier that is going to remember that sergeant, that senior NCO for a long time. And then when he has a bunch of privates and Joes and stuff like that, and he's a platoon sergeant, and a soldier struggling, immediately he's going to fall back on that and say, hey, nothing. We take care of our own. Yeah. Which brings me...
he's not going to worry about just getting the paperwork fixed. He's like, oh,
exactly.
Let me make sure you and your family are fed tonight, too.
Exactly. Exactly. That's, dude, man, it's freaking... So let me go to that right there. Nothing. We take care of our own. So when I see turds posting against General Donahoe or other senior NCOs that are defending the soldiers of the U.S. Army, I get pretty pissed off. Why? Because we take care of our own. If there's an influencer that's fucking butthurt because General Donahoe did something to them or did someone to somebody, and the next thing you know they're fucking crying about it on social media, I'm gonna tell you what. If you're upset that you were active duty and you were trying to fucking smack down a fucking 2-star while you were serving and then you got your due, yeah. I mean, don't get me started on the Fort Moore Mafia to begin with, but I'm just saying, I'm just like, dude, we take care of our own. That right there, I'm glad, I'm kind of glad we brought that up because that's right. We take care of our own. We have a senior NCO that looked forward that looked forward and said, okay, this guy's gonna need some chow. He's gonna need some, I need some whatever. Dude, he even got, if you look at the groceries, he even got the good cereal.
Yeah, I mean, I see some snack cakes too.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. Hang on, look at that.
Make sure we have some snacks.
Yeah, he got some snacks. Look at that. Look at that. But
well, I mean, and those are the people that like who is calling General Donahue woke or not woke?
Oh no, that's
why? Because he stuck up for women. Like it's like, oh my god, it just kills me. It's like, again, these people can't define it, and if they do, it always comes back to exactly what he said. And you're telling on yourself, and I will die on that hill.
No, you're right, and that's exactly what it was. No, I'm just talking about the big drama that he had with Josiah Lippincott, that guy, and got all butthurt and shit like that because. Hey, I'm sorry, man. If you're fucking pissing off a 2-star and because you pissed him off is because he was defending somebody. Command Sergeant Major Monday would have sent a bag of pine cones, a bag of rocks. Ooh, man, what's going on? What's up, you Recruiter Times? I've been a minute since I see you in the chats. But again. If that's the soldier, because look, right now, think about it. Like you just said about the bag, just like the bags of groceries. Nothing. We take care of our own. And so when you have your commanding, imagine you're getting a bunch of shit from some troll on fucking line, and your CG just pops in out of nowhere and says, hey, you shush the fuck up. Or, I'm just giving an example. I don't know. I'm paraphrasing. General Donahoe didn't tell somebody to shut the fuck up. I mean, he had other people do it for him, but not do it for him, but like kind of chimed in and said, yeah, this is fucked up. Shut the fuck up, dude. Hell, even we did. And kicking the hornet's nest now and then. Yeah. Okay, cool. This new generation mostly expects to be bailed out because that's how some of them are raised. Right. Some of them,
or maybe this kid just expected to be paid in like his entire paycheck.
Well, I mean, like I said, this part right here with this subject JT is a little bit. How do I say this? This is a one-off right here. Do I think there's a generational misunderstanding between those that are in and the new ones coming in? Yes, I think there is, and I think that is that we always talked about the good old days. Remember when I talked about that and everyone started going, "Oh, here he goes, he's gonna." Back in WW.
Oh, Sarah.
Back in WW Nom. Yeah. Operation Desert Nom, there was Private Ice sitting there talking, whatever. And his sergeant said this and that sergeant said that. But I was just saying is that one of the interactions that we had in the inbox, instead of slapping the troops down, instead of saying, you're fucked up, you're fucked this, you're screwed up, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not slapping up on you, JT. I'm just giving an example that what you've said is some of them have said the same thing, is that these kids weren't raised right. You're a non-commissioned officer and you got them youngins coming in. That is your job as an NCO, to raise them right. From the buck sergeant where the axe meets the stone to the sergeant major, not the command sergeant major, the sergeant major up there to breathe that Yoda wisdom, it's almost like an enlisted warrant. I mean, the sergeant major. They're the ones that, that we work for a living. They work for a living, they fucking work for a living. They're the ones, they're the talk masters, That's why and it's exactly that, recruiter times, this bring back School of the Soldier or school standards. That's why I think a lot of lately with because we just had rotations from MTC come back and forth recently. We posted about it. And what we, how do I say this? Most of it want to be led or trained. 50% exactly that. Well, you know what? That other 50% JT will also see what's happening. And there's some out there that won't say anything because they're afraid of getting ridiculed or mocked for, posing a stupid question. So I see that. But yes, lately, because we just had a recent transition of JRTC or NTC deployments, there's soldiers that don't understand like the basics of the Army to begin with. So no one sat there and said, hey guys, when you get back from the field, and everybody knows this, nobody can sit there and bullshit me and say, no, this didn't happen. There was a recovery period. Everybody knew 72 hours is a recovery period. It was your equipment, it was your arms, and it was yourself after that. And that's when you did all your inventories. That's when you cleaned up. That's when you did your sorties. Whenever you came back from the field, if you came back on a Wednesday, from that moment on, that's it. You came back, even if it fell into a weekend. If you came back on a weekend, you worked over the weekend to knock this shit out. So that way, I don't know, you know where your stuff was at. You know what your inventories, items were at. The kids aren't getting taught this. The kids aren't saying or are not being explained. Instead, they're being text. You will do this, you will do this. As per the commander, we're seeing a lot of this too. As per the commander says that we need to have this done by this time or we're not going to do this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Spanky, do you remember getting that? Do you remember getting told that? No, exactly. I never got told that shit. I said, hey man, just standard when you do fucking recovery from the field is that you come home no matter what time it is and you post up.
You gotta do that purpose behind it, like that whole leadership, that purpose part. Like you gotta teach kids why we're doing all this.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly
the why part.
Yeah, the why part, and it's usually it's if you tell the soldiers from the beginning, hey man, guys, gals, shit, sergeants, troops, Joes, whatever the fuck you want to call them. All right, we're back. All right, check this out. Here's the timeline. We've got 72-hour recovery period. Everyone show up in PTs, 0900 report. We're going to knock out the motor pool, do some cleaning and do some extra stuff, get the vehicles online, get that squared away. And then as we start getting reporting up, hey, where are we at? 50%, 70%, 60, 70%. And then bam, there we go. All right, you guys in the motor pool got it. Okay, now we got to clean weapons. We got to go through weapon stuff. And then we got to do the fucking commo. We got to clean the commo, make sure our embassy shit's good and all that stuff. All right, as everyone's migrating from the motor pool, now we're cleaning that. And then as that gets done, there you go. I have a whole story about providing the why. It's an absolutely generational issue. Yep, there you go. And then you do your arms, and then that's it. And then once recovery is done. All right, that's when you're saying, okay, we're going back to quote unquote steady state, or going back to normal activities. And all right, we'll see you guys at PT at this time, because that explanation of the why. Look, do you want to go and don't make me call it a night?
And we do read these, or it's like we do read the comments. It's like, this guy got yelled at for giving a soldier $500 so she wouldn't get evicted.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, like, I don't want to say your name because it's your full name, but like I said, I don't know how to get yelled at for like helping a soldier to get evicted.
I don't think and that's the thing too, is
I wouldn't yell at you.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, sometimes, and even when I came in back in WW, Desert Nom, It was I always thought when you did something, it was needed. It was kind of like, all right, well, just this out. We got this, and this. Why do we got to do this? And the platoons aren't, all right, we got to come back, blah, blah, blah. And make sure you do this because if you put it and store it away, the fucking Stone Age. Shut up, Mike. Mike's breaking balls. Mike knows a little bit more details about my personal Army life because me and him served together. So, but we look. I mean, I was explained. Hey guys, you want to make sure this is turned in and this is put in because you don't want to have bad shit. If you don't clean your weapons and then you go out to the range and you draw your weapons again, you're just gonna have bad weapons, or your tents are not gonna be fucking cleaned up, or your mortar pool. And if you don't do those 24-4s and do those shortages, that's not the time to go. Well, what about with the mortar pool? Hey, look, stay in your fucking lane. Again, going back to General Donahoe. General Donahoe was well in his lane to protect his soldiers. As anybody would have expected somebody, if someone was coming at my troops online, I'd be like, bitch. I was doing musket maintenance. Damn, bro. At least get the time frame right. It was blunderbuss maintenance, bro. Get it right, not musket. But if someone was coming at my troops and I was in charge on social media and and motherfuckers were coming at my troops, I'd be like, shut the fuck up. That just like, yeah. You know what's funny, Mike, is I have a 1903. I really do. 30-06. But yeah, any leader, and that's the thing. Your Joes will they will run through brick walls when they see you defending them online from a fucking troll because of, like Mike said, it's the generational issue. It's the generational issue of different mentalities as they grow, because like me and you talked about too, it's like specific. We didn't talk about our feelings, or we didn't talk about what was on our mind. We didn't talk about stuff like that. Well, now soldiers, we've gotten to that point to where, we've identified issues, what soldiers need to understand, what soldiers need to talk about. We don't sit there and browbeat them. No, I'm not saying that, they are still the military. And that's the thing too, is the generations have to understand that you are in the military. You are in the Army to do something that 0.45% of the population is doing. So when I laugh at these fucking influence people, that these on the left, rights, and everybody who tries to dunk on what military, and then it's even worse when we have people within the military or within the veteran community, to like fucking close and destroy, et cetera, exactly, defeat the enemies of our country, and I'm just like, look, guys, you're in the military. You realize you have to do this. You realize you've got to, things have to happen. You guys are like throwing me off track because all the good comments that I've seen here. Not everyone is living the same life. Exactly that. Not your struggle may be different than a private struggle or a specialist struggle. But yeah, I didn't mean to fucking go off on a rant, but shit. I'm just kind of like, damn, dude, fucking. Why is everyone still trying to dunk on Donahoe? He's fucking out. You're out. Shut up, Sorry. That COVID shit made everybody on both sides go fucking absolutely nuts.
They had too much time on their hands. They were sitting at home doing nothing.
Yeah.
They had to make up things to get mad about.
For no reason. Like,
right?
Can you control?
I mean, like if you didn't get into making bread, gardening, or whatever else, hoarding toilet paper, you had to like just make up things to be mad about. Like, I don't know. You're woke if you weren't mad about toilet paper or eggs, I guess.
if you don't like about whatever, then yeah, exactly that. Then you're woke. If you don't have
you had to be mad at Donahoe.
Then you had to be mad. Yeah, exactly that. You don't have 2-ply fucking toilet paper. It's Donahoe's fault. But
he went in and organized us all.
This was his idea. See, that's another thing too. There was people that fucking were like blaming him for the reason why the Army, it's like some of the threads that people tried to connect on General Donahoe stuff. I'm sorry, sir, that we're still, I know. Hey, shout out. I hope you're doing all right, man.
Like, how did he become the whole topic?
Yeah, well, it just pissed me off because I saw some shit online and I was like, I got to talk about this. This fucking, stop with your fucking woke shit. It's like, look, it's okay to criticize fucking leaders or whatever. WTF Moments does it all the time, but we're not trying to fucking
exactly
burn the Army down. We're not trying to fucking like, oh, this guy, whatever. there are certain things
bringing things to the light that need to be brought to light.
Right.
That's
exactly that. You could have done your active advocacy in a different way. I'm pretty sure if you had approached General Donahoe for a good debate, and we've debated before. I mean, we don't like debate out in the open, but I'm not saying I break balls with him all the time. Like, yeah, what's up, Pat? I don't do that shit. And he's General Donahoe, so I was like, hey, what's up, sir? Blah blah blah. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then, or he'll ask me a question. Hey, what are you doing this? Are you doing this? I go, nope. Hey, we're doing this, sir. Blah 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 blah. Okay, what about this? I mean, we have a good discussion, and there's no fucking vitriol. Mike Levine, yeah, I'm about to say, Mike Levine does. He picks on that poor guy. Dude, you're gonna make him snap. I'm just saying, he's gonna rear in your fucking your car and then take your parking space. but if you're in and you're being public about stuff, when you fucking see, that's the thing. You want to be in the military and be public about shit, and you know that it's going to get you in trouble, but you expect to be protected about it, while at the same time calling out toxic leaders, while at the same time shit talking other leaders on what they go ahead, Mike. Mike's gonna call in, so you're gonna have to like change your channel there, so that way you can hear it too. So go ahead, Mike. Call. Go ahead. We're waiting.
And what Holly said, Holly, I know for a fact that is why a lot of kids in the area I work in.
WTF Nation Radio, you're alive. What's up?
First time listener, long time caller. Wait, no, that's not right.
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm fabulous, man. I'm really intrigued by this line of conversation tonight. I really am, because I don't know. You really are talking about a generational divide. The idea that NCOs are going out and spending money on soldiers is as this like, eureka moment, like, oh my gosh, like I don't know. I would think that you and I came up in an era where that was like a normal thing.
We did, yeah.
Like there was outlay of funds. There was outlay of time. There was investment of self into the growth and development and in some cases the survival of junior soldiers. Like when did that stop being like a norm? Like it just boggles my mind that,
so do you think,
we're having this.
But do you
this
think
conversation right now?
So then you think it's a generational issue within the force, then, not because like you just said, it was the way we were raised. That was a norm. That was the norm. So it's not the kids then. It's the ones that are in. So you think it's a generational issue with the leadership or how we perform ourselves as leaders in. Does that make sense? Those serving still.
Not at all. That was just a word jumble that made no sense. I like. What are you saying?
Well, no. What I'm saying though is that no. But yeah, you're right. That was probably because I'm drinking a lot of coffee right now and I'm pretty amped. What I'm saying though is that you just said it's a generational thing, and who is the audience that you're talking about? Is it the NCOs that are currently in that has the generational issue, or is it those that are serving that are have the ones the new ones, the new kids, the brand new privates that have the generational issue? That makes sense. Or I'm still not making sense. Do I need to speak this in Spanish, German, Russian?
Well, I mean, Russian would be good. Listen, I think that we have several eras serving concurrently right now. Gen X is leading the army. I mean, Gen X was the generation that came in the late 80s and through the 90s that basically do what I said because I said what I said.
Right.
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 And we were, as a member of that generation, I say, we were conditioned to respond a certain way because the boss said so. And as we came into like middle management, staff sergeant, sergeant first class, et cetera, and I'm focused on the enlisted side. We got the first tranche of millennials into the service. I want to say like 05, 06, like that was really the first year that those guys started coming in. And as someone who was in the training base at the time, I was a drill sergeant 05 to 07. Like for the most part, really looked to train these guys in the same way that we were trained, which was, hey, go fucking do this because I said so. And we were, really engaged with a generation that grew up, or if they weren't digital natives, they were certainly digital converts.
Yeah.
And so this was a group of people who really had the sum total of human knowledge available in their screen. So yeah, they wanted the why. They wanted to know why you were telling them to go do a thing, and it just flabbergasted everyone in charge. I made mention of it in the comment. Like if you have 2 minutes, like the story that I had was as a drill sergeant, during the time at Fort Benning, 05, there was an outbreak of mono in the training base. Like there were 2 battalions that were basically, they weren't rendered completely useless, but they had a couple of companies in these battalions that were just basically off the line because of a mono outbreak.
Right.
And the drill sergeants were told, hey, you got to, there's a certain way that you have to clean and that you have to make sure the soldiers clean to keep them healthy.
Yeah.
And so, when you get back from training at the end of the day and the first sergeant's like, hey, tell them soldiers to go upstairs, clean them goddamn barracks.
Right.
Everybody else was just like, hey, on the command, fall out, go upstairs, clean barracks, fall out, and off they would go.
Gotcha.
And I would be there for like an extra 5 minutes saying, hey, what I want you to do is I want you to go upstairs and make a 4-in-1 bleach solution. I want you to spray all the flat surfaces. I want you to mop the floor with the bleach solution, because with your dirty little dick skinners, you're going to pass disease to each other. And if you're not using bleach, you're going to get each other sick. And like that explanation of the why gave them the motivation to go and do the things that they needed to do, because, always the carrot and the stick, right? The stick was, hey, go ahead and get sick. You're going to get recycled, and you're going to have to do this shit all over again from day one. Who wants to do that? Raise your hand. Okay. Nobody. Fall the fuck out and go do what I said. And I never had a guy get sick. Not once. So, when I had, 3 other platoons in the company with people falling left and right from mono.
Yeah.
So once you get in the mentality of, hey, this is a way you have to deal with this generation. I mean, Gen Z is even more so needing of, requiring the why.
Right.
Because the millennials came up where they could sit at the computer and find out whatever they needed to find out. Gen Z's had it in the palm of their hands since day goddamn one. And so like we just have this thing like leaders, again, Gen X is leading the army right now. Oh, well, we don't have to respond to that. Oh, there's barracks. Well, those barracks are better than when I came up. Well, better than when you came up doesn't matter for shit, my guy.
Right.
I mean, I lived in a room at Fort Campbell, Kentucky in 1996 and 1997 with 3 people in a room that was built for 2. There was a shower and toilet set up in the room. Again, a situation built for 2 with 3 people.
Right.
Oh, you're not a smoker? Fuck you. It doesn't matter if your roommate smokes. You're now a secondhand smoker.
Exactly.
2 out of 3 dudes in the room have girlfriends. Well, guess what? You better work a schedule.
Because
you know what I'm saying? It's like,
because they're your girlfriend too.
Yeah,
it's your girlfriend
exactly.
too.
Or you get to be really good friends or whatever. But I think the point is that everyone frames this quality of life thing through their own experiences and their own upbringing. And the fact of the matter is Gen X, us guys got raised by wolves in a lot of ways. And we kind of use that experience and think and overlay that on this next generation. Like, oh, they'll be fine. We got raised by wolves and beat with belts and fed gunpowder, they'll be fine. And it's like, no, motherfucker, that's not how this works at all.
Exactly. Yeah, that was more my point.
But then
you know
there's
what I mean?
me that but that's me. I am like Gen X and raised by Gen Z. And I think that's like the opposite. Like, I think that's why they're asking so many questions, because I'm like, we were raised like by wolves, basically. Like we had our parents say, like, do you know where your kids are? And so that's why I'm like, oh no, you ask all these questions. So I'm like, maybe that's like our fault. Like, I don't know, like if y'all have older or younger kids or whatever. Like, I taught her to ask all these questions. So yeah, blame me. You can blame me. It's my fault. I'm a parent of a 19-year-old. So yeah, she's asking all the questions because it's my fault.
Well, Mike has older kids. He knows.
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm in my second year. I'm in my second year as an empty nester, and it's a beautiful thing. It really is.
It's somebody said in the comments there that we were raised to not ask questions, and like you were saying, Mike, it was like, hey, 3 bags full, move out, draw fire, type shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
With the caveat,
Seen and not heard.
that hey, when you're on the far side of the objective, whether you're in AAR mode or it's just after, hey, ask in the after, and that's cool.
Yes,
but,
yes.
In a lot of ways, this new generation requires you to front load that, and guess what? It's not that difficult.
No, it's not.
It doesn't really change. It doesn't change the prep time you need for an engagement or a mission or whatever it is that you're doing. Like you just have to adjust your training and how you were raised. And there's just a lot of people, there's the growth mindset and the fixed mindset, right? So the people in a growth mindset can make that change on the fly because they know the people that they're leading have this requirement.
Yeah.
People with a fixed mindset are like, hey, fuck you, I don't care.
Yeah.
You're going to adapt to me. I'm not going to adapt to you.
Right.
And that, I mean, again, rock on. Your results are going to vary according to how you operate there.
Online or off. You know what I mean? It's just that's the issue. That have we taken almost doing this shit for 10 years now. Do you think we've taken too much? I don't want to say that. I'm going to ask this question because I'm going to fuck it all up again. Have we, using social media, has it helped or has it not helped? How about that?
Oh my God. It has helped so much. It has helped so much because on one hand, and again, I'm a retired Army Sergeant Major. I did public affairs for a really long time. I've been in social media since back when they were calling it new media.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think when you could, the first couple of young soldiers that got the balls to post on a unit page and ask a question, it really just made it obvious to a wider swath of the population that, oh my God, I feel the same way. I was thinking the same thing. That person asked the question for me, and it broke a seawall.
Mm-hmm.
It just flooded in. It's like people felt more free to engage with their leadership in a way that nobody had done before. And listen, I made a mention about, yes, I am a huge fan of busting Pat Donahoe's balls. But I love that guy like a much older, much uglier brother, right? But here's a guy who saw social media for what it was.
Yes.
An opportunity to flatten lines of communication.
Yep.
A chance to sort through all the chaff and the bullshit that comes when you deal down through, levels of the chain of command, where people filter out information or add sweeteners to make bad information a little bit more palatable.
Yeah.
And here was a guy who was willing to engage online with people point to point and have, for the most part, civil conversations about different ideas.
Of course.
And, honestly, to me, that's the ideal. And again, our Gen X leadership, our Chief of Staff of the Army is a Gen Xer. So is the Sec Army. So is the Vice. So is the SMA. They're all of the same era. And you would think that acknowledging the march of technology and the changing culture in our country, that they would lean further into this and make changes to the way people communicate. Our previous Sergeant Major of the Army, who I also am a tremendous fan of, leveraged this tool for what it was. he was able to hear things that his predecessors never would have heard or never would have really thought about,
Right.
absent this tool. And it just, to me, it's frustrating that, to see the presence that Tony Grinston had, and then just see sort of the lost gains, right? Because
Yep.
he left at a certain point in August of 23, and then all of a sudden, his successor chose not to engage in that world. And you could see it on Reddit, you could see it on Twitter, you could see it on a couple of different places where people were like, hey, man, we used to be able to have access to the Sergeant Major of the Army online. Now we don't have shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that causes people this feeling of more of a feeling of separation, more of a they're more divorced from what they had previously, which was they felt like was a connection to Army senior leaders. And again, that's hard ground to catch back up with, man.
It's almost like you were saying you stopped on the objective and didn't go to the LOA. You didn't, you know what I mean? You stopped. You stopped midway. It was like it was climbing with Daly, going up with Grinston, and then kind of like, I don't want to say it plateaued, but I think it stopped. It's like it stopped before we hit the peak. Honestly, like, Ken, I don't want to date either one of us too much here, but in PLDC, which I'm pretty sure we both graduated from.
I went to PLDC
too. What did they say, right? Trust is easy to gain, and it's easy to lose and very difficult to gain.
Correct.
And so, there's a degree of trust that was built through this process, through social.
Mm-hmm.
And the abdication of that role, it was just an easy loss of that trust. And I mean, say the 18th Sergeant Major of the Army, whoever that may be, and I love Recruiter Times. They're in the thread. It may very well be goddamn Shade Monday, so y'all better watch out. That's my class 67 classmate. If I was in Vegas, I would absolutely drop some money on Shade Monday as a potential SMA. But you're looking at the next guy being a Gen Xer or very, the potential of a millennial SMA. And so, someone who is raised in that information environment, unless they are an outlier, you would assume that they're going to lean back into that environment and look to build that audience and be able to communicate with the force in even a more effective way than Grinston and Daly before him. Yeah. So, I mean,
curious to see how it's going to go.
If that happens, that's going to be pretty goddamn cool.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, we'll I'm always how do I say this? I'm always an optimist and positive to see what happens, and then as it goes along, then we'll, if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. Then we have these conversations. We're like, oh, well, why is he not talking to? And I'm not just saying he should be talking to us. I'm just saying just being out in the presence, being out on the platforms. Like I said, fucking General Donahoe got a lot of shit for standing up for soldiers and that was a conversation that we were having earlier in the segment that, hey, fucking, what's your definition of woke? You just why don't you just say you don't like women in the military, you don't like fucking minorities, you don't like, you know what I mean? It just kind of like got to that point where if you're not really fucking saying something about it, then what is the real reason why you're getting mad that a 2-star general is defending his troops? Do you know what I mean? So, but that I guess, I don't know.
They get mad. They get mad because, let's be real. I don't think it's necessarily anything that he said that would have set off an individual, but it set off a couple of people who had disproportionately influential voices in very specific and niche worlds.
Yeah, I see that.
And I'm aiming at the Jack Basaviaks and the Lippincocks. Oh, did I say his last name right? I'm sorry.
I don't know. I remember he's PT failure Josh or something like that. I don't remember what his name was.
Yeah. You know, remedial PT formation.
Remedial.
Guys like that, you know, who have the innate ability to catch the ear of, you know, more influential message transmitters, and in this case, it was, you know, with Lippincott, it was you know, Laura Ingraham and you know, some of the primetime Fox hosts, and that was one more log to throw on the fire of you know, sort of the rage forge, right? Like let's get this as hot as we can and make people angry, because if you make people angry, they tune in to share their anger. And tune-ins means more dollars for our advertisers. I mean,
think about it. There was never
into this conversation about, and honestly, like you and I have had this conversation before when it comes to the information environment. You know, it has absolutely nothing to do with ideology. Anyone who looks at this as an ideological argument is frankly not being very intellectually rigorous in their analysis. This is all about advertisers, and it's all about money. That's all it is. I mean, Fox News in the whole lawsuit argument with the voting company, you know, it was all about, hey, we have to respect our audience, and we have to present a certain type of content to our audience, because that's what our audience expects. And that's all they're doing. So like when they get on, I mean, Donahoe, God bless his pointy little Irish head. He is like a secondary consideration here. He's basically just a tool here. They can pin something on him to anger the audience, which gets them more engagement. It gets them more time. It gets them more face time with their advertisers, and potentially puts people into the marketing funnel for those products. I mean, that's all this is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my biggest thing is how those specific outlets like to say, our military is weak, our military is weak, our military is weak. And then a 2-star stands up for his soldiers. Oh, what's going on? It's no, man, this army's woke. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? You just make up your mind. Is the military weak or not?
All these dudes that say the military is weak, let the balloon go up, and we start actually closing with and destroying the enemies of the United States of America in close combat, just like Doctrine says.
Yeah.
And they'll be out there filleting us like they were in 2001, 2002, 2003, support our troops, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it is so fucking predictable how these people will be.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know. And I mean, that's because it's like there's no consistency
again,
to it.
They go where the audience goes, Ice, and the audience. If we go to war, if something really kicks off, do you think for a minute they're going to pay attention to any of that woke bullshit?
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Oh no, they're going to be hiding right behind them, right behind those soldiers that are out there in the front, like you just said, and because this isn't fucking, we're not dealing in the Middle East. The possible future of combat operations will not be in the Middle East, aside from a couple of drones going here and there, but boots, the next
Europe and the Pacific, my guy.
Yeah, exactly. And those boots on the ground will be a whole hell. I mean, not saying that war's not scary, but it's going to be, look, you already have Russians and Ukrainians posting their drone vids of who they hit when they hit each other with drones. I don't know if these guys are going to be ready for that. I mean, that's another ugly side of it, that, like you were talking about the medium, the new medium.
Well, and honestly, here's how I feel. Like they will absolutely pivot in their messaging to talk about support our troops, because frankly, you know, Tucker Carlson doesn't want his son to put on a uniform. You know, Laura Ingraham doesn't want her kids in uniform. Sean Hannity doesn't want his kids serving in uniform. That's for other people to do.
Right. The woke ones, right? The woke ones.
As soon as it's convenient for them, they will easily be able to move over and say, support our troops.
Yeah.
And again, it's gross. Like it's really just icky to think about how quickly these people will flip when the time comes. If the time comes. And to be clear, I pray the time does not come, because I would rather get called woke than frankly get called up in a retiree recall.
I know, dude. Did you get any calls yet? I got 3 calls, unofficial, like B&Rs. I already got 3 of them. So.
Oh, they don't want my ass, bro. You know how it goes.
Well, every time I got
and honestly, since retiring at the end of 2021, I really enjoy my freedom of speech, and that would be
see, that's the thing.
That would be really hard to put in the back pocket for a 24-month activation.
I got a B&R for one, and I said, "Can I be part of the WTF Nation still?" I don't think we can. All right, next.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it because I'm not?
Now, you know, I'll be honest with you. If Department of the Army comes calling with a political appointment, then you know, that might be something different. I might be able to shut up then, but you know, just to put the uniform back on and make like a quarter of what I'm making right now, nah.
No, I hear you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
All right, big man. Thanks for calling. We gotta do some housekeeping. You're like you
Go
pulled
get
us.
it.
You
Go
pulled
get
us
it.
over the break. So
Frankie, I'm sorry. We've been talking over you, but you know how I am. I just start jaw jacking, and that's how it goes.
I think she walked away. Are you still here, Spanky? I think she would.
Oh, I'm
made a
here.
run for
I'm
it.
here.
Okay.
All right, man.
I'm here.
All right, brother man. Take it easy. Love you.
I forgot how to push my button.
Later.
All right. Oh man, that was we had to work through some technical issues. I don't know if you guys noticed while we were talking. I hope you guys didn't. I hope we were seamless as we could. But thanks a lot, Mike, for calling.
It was seamless.
Okay,
it was
good,
seamless.
good,
It worked.
good. Yeah, because I was like, it might drop, Spanky. I didn't want to CQ my show because every time
This is Thursday. We don't do Tuesday things on Thursday.
Exactly. We don't do Tuesday tech. Hey, breaking ball, CQ. Love you, man. You freaking
I know.
dude. You're crushing it. You're crushing
And
it.
only we can talk about CQ like
That's
that.
right. That's right. Don't be breaking
Nobody
balls.
else.
Hey, let me see the chats there. If anybody's breaking balls on Mike there.
Yeah, we'll block you so fast.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. CQ is our tech guy. So all the new ways of broadcasting or all the tech stuff that's come up, CQ has been the leader. And as a matter of fact, CQ also has assisted other individuals for their podcast setup and their broadcasting setups. And he has really advanced us. So he's the man scientist. So when he has his technical stuff that's going on Tuesday, even though Mad Mike breaks his balls, Mad Mike, those are like the odd couple. Mad Mike goes, yeah, well, you know, your shit's all fucked up because you don't know how to fucking do it, you know?
And Mad Mike can barely charge his own phone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, but what's funny is that he's doing live tests with you guys all the time. Every time, you know, all you guys that get in there and say, oh, well, we're gonna, you know, he's doing this and this and blah, 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 you know. Hey, Mike, I'm talking about Carrasquillo, CQ busts his ass to make sure. So a lot of the testing that you see, when he has a glitching, he's actually working some stuff on live to test at the same time. And you are witnessing and being part of the experience of the test. See? So at least it's not flying an airplane testing shit out and, you know, engines are falling off like Boeing stuff. But anyhow, yeah, I figured we since Mike Levine came in there and was jabbering with us and went over the break, we're just gonna go ahead and knock out some housekeeping. How about that, me? Break out that lemon pledge and start repping it. Let's see, what do we got going on? Okay, so man, wait, I got a guest next. Well, we got a guest this week. No, I got a next. No, do I have one? Oh, yes, I have one. Okay, so tomorrow, I'm just looking at the calendar. I'm like, oh shit, because you know the front desk, you freaking busy as shit is knocking out all the work. So, okay, so this starts time. Myself, Spanky. Everybody knows this is the Senior NCO, Senior NCO Army LPD. Time to talk and rant and, you know, give my TED Talks, pontificating moments of Army leadership and Army what's going ons. And so this is Sergeant's time. Tomorrow we have a bye week for Friday Night Freedom. I'm just making sure I'm looking at the calendar right. Yeah, so Friday Night Freedom tomorrow is the 19th. It's a bye week, so you might see a share from U.S. Space Force WTF moments. Throw up on there on Friday. I don't know if you guys know on Saturday is a day off. However, Nemo and the actually the actual King Smith and the Grunts Gaming Network are getting together to do some sort of collaborative things. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know what their dealio is, but I'm curious to see what's happening. I just, like I said,
So just kind of watch Saturdays.
there might be some gaming. Sunday, of course, is the sports bar with the actual King Smith. And what do you hear? What do you say? I think the coach is gonna. Did he make the announcement already that he may be going public soon? He maybe showed his face. Maybe not. I gotta freaking double check. But yeah. But he's if he's gonna show his face, it's gonna be hilarious because how he talks is how you think he looks like is how he is. I fucking love the coach, man. He's hilarious. Whoa, man.
We're just tuning into Sopranos.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because when I had me and him we had lunch in when I was visiting Fort Bragg. Fort Liberty, and back at Liberty, Josiah, throw it in there for me. And then he we were talking, and like you said, like in The Sopranos, hey, and then forget about it. This motherfucker was talking to blah blah blah, and forget it, blah blah blah, and hands moving and everything. He was doing that. He was like legit. I'm like, bro, man, I think I don't know, am I being a made man today or something? And he just laughed. He's just like, whatever, Ice, yeah, watch a piece of cues, baby. He's fucking classic. So if he does become if he's public, I can't wait because it's a big thing for him. So that's on Sunday. And then the Monday edition, we're going to have Faster Colorado coming on. There you go, Josiah. Thanks, baby. Laura Carno from Faster Colorado. Oh, come on, Mike. That's not racist. He admits it. I'm merely parroting his lines. Besides, I'm Latino. Can we say some stuff like that too? Or whatever. You see Mike. Mike's already throwing some comments there. Man, he's feisty tonight. Did you have one of those spicy lemonades from Starbucks? Forget about it. Yeah, exactly. So Laura Carno from Faster Colorado is going to be joining me on the Monday edition, and then we're going to have on Tuesday we have the creator of Game of Ham. Did you see that Orlando Jones Pop Culture Warrior a couple days ago?
Oh yes,
bro. I could not have stopped laughing. I mean, dude, Orlando Jones. I didn't realize he is. Man, he's definitely WTF Nation, man, because he was just cracking me up, dude. So Game of Ham's going to be on with Pop Culture Warrior, and then with the Team Sorens, the Smoke Pit, with Radar and TZ. Dude, John Rich from Big and Rich is going to come on? Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, dude, do we got to give Mom some front desk snacks?
She needs a snack raise.
Yeah.
She needs a snack raise.
Oh, man. Can Facebook see your YouTube comments? No, we have not. That's CQ's gig. She's working on that. So the way CQ did it, for some of you that are wondering who am I talking to or where am I getting these comments from, we have a central chat system where we're able to see all the chats. But if you go to YouTube, CQ managed to get all the chats on the YouTube channels of I think it was a WTF Nation Radio. So yeah, we have two YouTubes we're broadcasting live to. U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio. So insert evil laugh. Bridie Powell's like sitting there just scheming and shit. But anyway, so John Rich from Big and Rich, like the John Rich from Big and Rich. That's kind of a good show. And then of course, right back to A Sergeant's Time, where Brandon Hart's going to be on the Friday Night Freedom on next Friday. So this next week's going to be packed. It's going to be fun. Can't wait. You're listening to Sergeant's Time right now. Of course, obviously, you see all of our shows right there on that graphic. I'm going to go ahead and just change the graphic out so that way we can blah, 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 blah. It's like more freedom of speech over here. Yeah, exactly. See, that's the thing. You guys be careful. Everyone's like, hey, man, how come you hid my account? How come you hid my comment? I didn't do it. We didn't do it. If you guys, Spanky posted, didn't you post something that Zuck came in there and said this violates our fucking
right
auto hidden? I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's usually just about, when I get a little stabby. So I try to keep my stabbiness over on.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Facebook sucks donkey dicks. Yeah, so you could say that. We could say that too. If this page dies on Facebook, then it's because of you, Bridie Powell. We can talk and stuff like that. But anyways, Broadcasting on 2 Facebook pages, U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, 2 YouTube pages at WTF Nation Radio and U.S. Army WTF Moments, and of course, the X app at WTF Nation Radio. And we can see the chats in there because now CQ has worked magic to where we can see all the chats on the YouTube channel. So it's awesome. I love it. But anyhow, do you got anything for me, Spanky? We're ready to...
I do not. The lemon pledge is put away. We are good to go.
We're good to go. Make sure you guys share, like, and follow, of course. And, much love to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Shout out, Mike, for calling to give us a buzz and providing some of that wisdom. And y'all have a good night. Shots. Cheers.
Sweet dreams.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.